It's going to be the fourth penalty of the first half on the Gales, all of 5 yards.
Sometimes those unique packages where you try to get the advantage on the opponent, they kind of blow up in your face because you don't practice it too often, and the timing is just not there in those type of unique packages plays.
Borsari is looking at a 35-yard field goal attempt from the right hash. His first one of the year. Good snap. Kick is up, and it is good. Just getting across the crossbar. And it's a 12-0 game as the Gales complete the drive with a 35-yard field goal. Well, a nice job by Bishop Gorman to come away with points, and I got to think a little bit of a win for the defense as well for Kahuku. They have been standing strong inside the red zone.
Yeah, I think the Red Raiders are saying we got them right where we want. We're down 12-0. We came back last week.
Right.
Let's see what we can do.
This looks eerily reminiscent of last week's game against St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
I think Coach Carvalho, if that becomes the option, he's going to just say, guys, what if we just spot them 2 touchdowns and start the game in the second half?
Yeah.
1:49 to go in the first half of play. You've had 6 possessions in the game for Gorman, and they have scored twice. This Kahuku defense has been tough, but Bishop Gorman's defense, we haven't talked about them a lot, mostly because Gorman has really been trying to stave off these attacks Kahuku's been trying to stave off these attacks by Bishop Gorman, but Gorman's defense has been outstanding. I mean, they've only given up a couple of first downs in the game, and Kahuku has crossed midfield once.
Be on the look for the onside kick here, just to kind of wake things up for Gorman.
Well, Bishop Gorman's been kicking the ball short. And this time they're going to kick it a little bit deeper, but this is going to be returnable from inside the 5-yard line off the foot of Trent Walker. On the return across the 25 out near the 27-yard line for a return of about 24 yards. And now we got a penalty marker at the end of the play. On that return was Madden Soliai. So Soliai, a decent return, but let's see what happens at the end of this one. Boy, Coach Browner not going to be pleased if this is a little bit of extracurricular against the Gales at the end of that special teams play. Oh, that's going to go against Kahuku. Well, now it's Coach Carvalho who's not going to be happy. Just the second penalty of the game for the Red Raiders, but this one is going to cost them some field position.
Yeah, and it's not half the distance because they're at the 27-yard line.
This might put them all the way back at the 12. Let's see.
Yep, that's where they're walking to. Right now.
Well, they're actually going to spot it at the 18. So they are going to call it half the distance, Thomas.
All right. I thought when the ball was spotted past the 20, it was you get full.
That was my thought as well, but now the referees are talking it over. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
You were right.
What's that number again?
Yeah, I know. NFHS.org.
There we go. Might bring that up over the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. It's not a bad idea.
Catch a couple of games.
It's going to go back to the 13-yard line, so that is where Kahuku will start on first down, and they're going to snap the ball quickly, and a quick out route is going to be completed out near the 17, maybe the 18-yard line for a gain of 5 yards.
That's the first time where he got the ball out quickly.
Yes.
And you might want to do that a little bit more. You know, when we were talking to the coaches, that was the one thing I was trying to bring up. He threw 37 passes last week. That's a lot in my opinion, for a first-time starter at the varsity level. So they feel very confident with him throwing the football, obviously. And I think with the type of speed that Gorman has, as you mentioned, defensively, you got to get that ball out quickly to your receivers. Can't hold it.
All right, Tarangi is going to throw a quick one again and through the hands of his tight end, Ayu.
Second one for him.
That's a second drop by a tight end for Kahuku. And we'll call that on a catchable ball. I mean, the ball a little bit higher. Certainly you'd like it maybe around neck level, chest level, but one where you can get both hands on it. And now 3rd down and 5 with 1:34 left in the half. $12-0 our score. Bishop Gorman looking for a big stop here. They get the ball back and punt it away. You're probably going to get the ball around midfield again.
Yeah, and you easily another chance to put some points on the board.
Maratirangi is going to throw almost a jump pass up for grabs and incomplete. Really all he had. He kind of slipped a little bit as he was planning back there, and then the defense was coming in. I don't even think he could see his receiver, Thomas.
Yeah, and I actually think he got hit as he threw that football. Trying to get that number. It looked like numbers. Trying to get that number.
Well, the punting unit is on once again, as it has in the 6 possessions that the Red Raiders have had in the first half. 5 have ended with a punt. Good snap. High kick, very short kick, though. Very short kick. We'll take a Kahuku bounce, which is fortunate because it bounced at the 27-yard line, and then we'll be down at the 35. And meanwhile, we've got a little bit of extracurricular at the end of the play.
Looks like the punter didn't appreciate what happened there.
Well, Noah Bridges got tied up with Axel Ferry. No penalty markers, though, and it will be Bishop Gorman football at the Kahuku 35-yard line with 1:15 to play.
Now, I want to give the pressure for Gorman on that last play was number 10, Tomatoe Neote Ote. Got in on the quarterback, and I think he kind of disrupted his footing there.
Spicer back out this time with Jonathan Core in the backfield. Core will line up to the right in a 3-receiver package with a tight end left. On first down, Spicer going to drop way back, set up, step up. Now he's going to run, and he's going to run out of room. Nice job in the pursuit by Lano Solomon. Spicer is going to be sacked for the second time in the game. Only a loss of 2 back to the 37-yard line. But boy, this spy tactic, the Spies have been up for it for Kahuku.
Yeah, they're not allowing Spicer at all to get outside of the tackles.
James Bond somewhere is taking notes, Thomas, right now, as Spicer going to take the snap on 2nd and 12. Step up again, rolling right. He's going to throw underneath. That pass is caught. Nice cutback move. And a first down inside the 20. Great job by Derek Meadows, the senior wide receiver, with the catch in the first down.
Yeah, Mr. All Everything. I was just going to mention, we haven't called his name once here in the first half, and Meadows comes out of nowhere to make a play and shows you why he's the top receiving top receiving recruit for the senior class, and he's already committed to LSU for next fall.
Timeout called by Bishop Gorman with 27 seconds to go in the half. Well, if you look at Meadows at 6'6", 205 pounds, and he caught the ball, Thomas, stepped back toward the line of scrimmage, turned around, then did a jump cut to his left. That's something you'd see a running back do, going across the line of scrimmage, and left 3 Kahuku guys who were heading to the right trying to cut him off. And then suddenly Meadows has extra yardage and is down at the 20-yard line, or actually the 19. So,
yeah, and all that is done by an athlete that is 6'6", 205.
Yeah, 6'6", 205. Pretty incredible.
As you mentioned, Jeff, 27 seconds left. Good field position. Definitely within range of getting 3 points here.
Yeah, Bersari.
Yeah, but you got to believe that the Gorman's going to try to go for the end zone.
Yeah, and Kahuku, it would be huge for the Red Raiders to go into the locker room, assuming a field goal is made and no touchdown scored by Bishop Gorman. Being down 15-0, that's a 2-possession game, given how the first half has gone. Offensively, But Bishop Gorman has other ideas. They've got 4 receivers set up. Core back in the game to the left of Spicer in the backfield. Spicer on first down. Pocket collapses again. He's going to throw. He's got a man open, and the pass is caught at the 1-yard line by Meadows. Actually, at the 2, a gain of 17. The clock will stop temporarily while the chains move. Spicer up to the line of scrimmage. You might spike this football right away, and that's what he's going to do. Yeah. Clock will stop with 17 seconds left.
Great catch here by Meadows. He was double teamed there, and then almost triple teamed as the safety kind of got lost in the end zone.
Boy, Meadows, you're right. We hadn't mentioned him at all, and now he's gotten the last 33 yards on 2 catches. I don't know. He's a big target out there. He's hard to miss.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on him here. He's lining up on the left side near the sideline. You've got Norman back in the game, and he's quick across the line of scrimmage. First and goal from the 2. Spicer looking to throw. He's looking for Norman out of the backfield. He makes the catch, touchdown. What a tough catch. Bishop Gorman and Spicer, their first passing touchdown of the year.
Yeah, just too many weapons on the field right now for the Gales. And just not enough defenders right there for the Red Raiders. You got to concentrate on, as we mentioned, Meadows. And then Norman coming out of the backfield kind of slips through a would-be coverage and gets open for the score.
Bersari on for the extra point. Tough snap. He's got to stutter step his kick, and he ekes it over the goal, over the crossbar on what could best be described as using a chipping wedge to get it in. That was well done. I wonder how his golf game is. 19-0 is our score with 13 seconds left in the half. And Gorman breaking through for their second touchdown of the game.
Yeah, good work there by Bishop Gorman.
Well, Thomas, they've started, of their 7 drives in the first half, 4 have come on the Kahuku side of the football field. And one of those drives started at the 40 and the other at the 49 of Bishop Gorman. I mean, that's just outstanding field position the entire first half. That the score is only 19-0 at this point is pretty remarkable on the defense's part by Kahuku.
It's tough to keep a team out of the end zone when the field's that slanted for them. Yeah, you just can't hold it all day. And believe me, the Red Raiders have done an excellent job defensively. It's just, especially on that play, they just had way too many weapons on the field.
Well, and credit Gorman. Nice execution.
Yes.
In that 2-minute drill, Spicer doing a great job guiding the offense. Meadows with a couple of big catches, and Spicer creating some lanes, passing lanes with his feet under some pretty heavy pressure from the defensive line of the Red Raiders.
Yeah, no doubt.
Bersari to kick off. His 2 kicks have been short by design. He's going to do it here as well. This is going to be returnable from the 28-yard line. Trying to head to the far side of the field, now cutting back and getting out to the 30. Looks like that was Cale Lerner. Lerner on the return of about 3 yards. And there are 6 seconds left in the half. And what do you do here if you're Kahuku? Do you take a knee? Do you run a little dive play into the line?
I would just take a knee and just kind of regroup here.
Bishop Gorman will get the ball to begin the second half of play as Kahuku got the ball first.
Not a whole lot you can do here. I would just try to regroup right now. Because the Red Raiders coaching staff has to kind of emphasize that there is a second half to this game. And, just got to make adjustments and really protect the football.
Well, we got an empty backfield. Might be a wildcat type of situation here as Mara Tarangi not in the game at the moment. Well, they're going to throw it, and a nice out route is going to be dropped. This is Christian Sanford Tupuola, the 6'3 junior in at quarterback right now. That pass dropped at the 35-yard line on a little out route. It's the third drop we've seen by Kahuku here in this first half that could have netted them some good yardage. That took just 3 seconds off the clock. So we hope Mara Tarangi is okay. We haven't seen anything that indicates there was an injury or anything along that line, but
he is on the sidelines, right behind the play caller.
It's going to be a running play here to end the first half. It'll be a short gain out to the 33-yard line, and that will complete the first half of play. Well, Bishop Gorman pitching a shutout right now in their home opener. A 19-0 lead over the number 1 team out of Hawaii, the Kahuku Red Raiders. We're going to step away here on the NFHS Network. Come back in about 10 minutes with the NFHS Network halftime show. Get you set for second half action. Once again, your halftime score, Bishop Gorman 19 and Kahuku 0 on your home for high school sports, the NFHS Network.
Conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
Woo! My kid heard that solo!
You see my kid?
I just wanted to take a minute to thank you for all that you do officiating high school football.
What you do matters, and what you do is important for our student athletes.
Without you and what you do, it's just practice.
I know you've worked hard in your preparation this offseason, and now it's game time.
Go out there and call them like you see them.
Embrace the grind.
And the biggest thing of all is to have fun.
Please, stay safe, have a great season, and we'll all be watching.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. how to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
Going to college for esports feels amazing. Growing up, it's something I never thought would happen. My family never thought it would happen. And then within 2.5 years, here I am.
He's actually a madman whenever it comes to playing on the sticks.
You know, he's going to be the first one that pursues this into an academic career.
Me getting an esports scholarship could show other students that it's possible for them too, as long as they put their mind to it and put some effort into it.
All runners are different, and we're here for everyone. The beginners, everydayers, once-in-a-whilers, the treadmillers, track goers, and trailblazers. For every mile, marathon, stretch, and stride, we're here for gearing up and having fun. All the ways you run, all budgets, all at Academy. Have fun out there.
Halftime here on the NFHS Network, live at Bishop Gorman High School, where the evening has descended to a crisp 97 degrees as we are at 19-0 in the score. Bishop Gorman leading it over Kahuku out of Hawaii, the number one team in Nevada, against the number one team from Hawaii. Kahuku coming in ranked number 30 in the country. Bishop Gorman, last year's Max Preps national champion, and ranked number 2 coming into their first game of the season. Jeff Kurtz alongside Thomas Conroy. Our producer tonight is Chris Cashman. Executive producers Brian Vilvin and Finn Prendergast. Camera people Gabriel Kurtz and Matthew Burke. Our crew doing great work here, getting everything set up and bringing you tonight's game. We thank them very much for that. Thomas, let's quickly review the scoring from the first half. And it was all on the Bishop Gorman side of the ledger. They started out in the first quarter with a 1-yard touchdown run by their backup quarterback, Eugenio, taking one in from a yard out to give their team a 7-0 lead. Then a safety on a long snap that went over the head of the Kahuku punter into the end zone, and he fell on it for a safety. 9-0 Gorman after one. And then in the second quarter, they added a 35-yard field goal by Bersari, and then a 2-yard touchdown pass from Spicer to Norman. And that is how we got to a 19-0 score. 9 first downs for Gorman in the first half. They turned the ball over once on an interception. 4 penalties for 20 yards. Meanwhile, for Kahuku, 2 first downs, 2 penalties for 11 yards. They turned the ball over twice, once on a fumble, the other on an interception. You can almost count the safety as a turnover as well, of sorts.
I did
and
that
then and then 2 sacks in the game by the Kahuku defense. So, you look at those numbers, and with an average field position, or 4 possessions for Bishop Gorman taking place on the Kahuku side of the field, and then 2 others taking place at their own 49 and 40-yard line, you can look at the scoreboard and go, it should be 35-0 right now. Credit the Kahuku defense keeping it at 19. And the Red Raiders offense needs to show up in the second half. Otherwise, this is going to be a long rest of the evening. Gorman's defense has been outstanding.
Yeah, well, once again, the offense has not found the stride yet. And we saw a quarterback change. It'll be interesting to see if that continues, here in the second half. We don't know whether or not there was an injury that at the end, and he was just getting treatment. I did see him behind the play caller right as the clock struck 0. So that will be kind of the next shoe to fall there, whether we see a quarterback change with the Red Raiders. But it's everything that the coaching staff said to us in pregame, that you can't have the mistakes, we can't have the turnovers, and we can't have the penalties. And like you mentioned, a couple of those penalties were killers because it moved them deep in their own territory, which with an offense that's struggling just has a hard time. The playbook is almost, you might as well throw it out the window, because there's really nothing safe at that point when you're a struggling offense just trying to find your identity.
We're just under 3 minutes left before the start of the second half, Thomas. I don't know if we read too much into Coach Carvalho going with Christian Sanford, Tupuola. There were 13 seconds left in the first half, and Bishop Gorman is slated to get the ball first, so we may not know for a while. Was that just hey, let's get our backup a couple of reps here before the end of the half, given we're probably not going to drive 80 yards in 13 seconds? Or is it a function of, we'd like to make a change? So we'll see how that develops when the Red Raiders take over the football in the second half. I mean, and if you look at what Coach Carvalho was telling us before the game, we got to cut down on our penalties. And they only had 2, but you were right. They were at key times. Yeah. And then the turnovers, the interception, the fumble, and they only gave away just the 1 touchdown on those 2 turnovers. But then you had the bad snap that led to a safety. The defense has played well. It could be a lot more on the scoreboard right now, and all credit to Gorman's defense in the first half, holding a top-rated team out of Hawaii to 2 first downs, and they only crossed midfield once. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and on the Gorman side is how do we get Kaiser a little bit more space for him to run, because they have not done an excellent job with that, with the shadow right there. Oh, excuse me, Spicer coming out of the backfield. They've done an excellent job with the shadow defender and really kind of negating his ability to run once he gets past the line of scrimmage as a dual quarterback.
Do you think we see a little more of Micah Eugenio in the second half for Bishop Gorman?
I wouldn't be surprised. One thing Coach Browner said in that interview that I referred into pregame, he doesn't like bringing in young quarterbacks and blowouts because he feels that you don't learn anything, because everybody, the other side is they haven't given up, but they know it's a rough night, and they're going to kind of play vanilla defense the rest of the way once it hits a certain point on the scoreboard. So we might see him, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him maybe in the first series here in the second half while this game is still kind of in question.
Or do you stick with him maybe in the third series? I guess maybe it depends on what happens in the first two possessions for Bishop Gorman in the second half.
One thing we confirmed tonight, he is a third series quarterback switcher.
Yes, he is. I think we could definitively call that a trend now on the part of Coach Browner.
So that'll be interesting. And the Red Raiders are out and they're stretching right now. I thought maybe we might see warming up with the quarterbacks, but we haven't seen that yet.
Well, Martarangi is throwing.
Okay, good.
But he's also throwing with all the other quarterbacks as well. So they're all getting some tosses in, so it's hard to read anything out of that.
Yeah.
So teams completing their warm-ups as we get set to start the second half here in the first week of the football season on the NFHS Network, our live coverage. And when we say we're kicking off what it should be a very exciting year of high school sports, we are pretty fired up about it, and we hope you are as well. Games taking place all around the country and really starts to get rolling next week. And then by Labor Day weekend, we are in full effect everywhere. No one is left out at that point.
Yeah, I was totally shocked when doing game prep for our contest tonight that Hawaii already started. And then when we were talking to some of the personnel staff for the coaches, they're already 2 weeks into school.
Yeah, we asked them, hey, has school started yet? Yeah. And they're like, oh, yeah, we've been back for 2 weeks. We've been doing this for a while. The Kahuku squad came out on Monday.
Yeah. And
they did a little top golf, which Coach Carvalho said everyone thinks they can drive the ball, and that proved to be a bit humbling for everybody. And so if anyone was thinking on the Kahuku sideline, hey, if this football thing doesn't work out, maybe I can move to golf, they may be thinking differently now after a trip to the top golf. But they had study hall and online classes, and took them a few days to get oriented to the time difference. It is a 3-hour jump from Hawaii to here. But Coach said by the end of Wednesday, we felt pretty comfortable with where everyone was at, and they turn around and fly out tomorrow morning. And it was pretty funny, Thomas. We came into town, and we're like, okay, we got to make sure we get a chance to touch base with the coaching staffs before the game and all that. And we roll up to our hotel this afternoon, and sitting in the lobby was Kahuku.
Yeah.
Made our job very easy.
I was like, wow, you didn't have to meet us here.
That's right. No, that was done completely accidentally on our part.
Exactly.
Kahuku now going right to left across your screen. They will be kicking off, and that will be Brody Pololo who will be doing the honors. 2 back to receive, standing around the 15-yard line for the Gales. We are getting ready for the second half, and Gorman looking to see if they can add to what's already a 19-0 lead. Here is the kick. It is going to be returnable from the 6-yard line. Out across not even to the 20. A nice job in special teams pursuit by the Red Raiders.
Wow, I thought that ball was loose for a minute.
Boy, guys were flying to the football there. So a short return.
We talked about the big miscue, obviously, with the snap, but I'll tell you one thing. They run their special teams running their lanes about as perfectly as I've seen a squad in a long time. There's not a lot of kind of lag on the outside to the inside where you could probably break a couple of tackles and take one to the house. They are very well schooled in special teams, the Red Raiders.
Zyron Menor with a 9-yard return. The ball at the 15-yard line. This is the worst field position for Bishop Gorman in the game. Spicer on first down is going to hand it off and up the middle and into the secondary with a first down and more out near the 35-yard line. On the carry goes Jonathan Core with his longest run from scrimmage. And now we've got an injured player back around the 20-yard line for Kahuku, as the Red Raiders came up with some injuries in their first game. Kaimana Carvalho, who is the nephew of Sterling Carvalho, the head coach. It's Coach Carvalho's twin brother's son. Starting running back this year hurt his ankle in the first series from scrimmage against St. Louis last week. There were a couple other injuries as well, a couple players out sick. So not the full travel squad, and that requires some guys in the second unit to step up, Thomas, and we may have that situation arising here for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, hopefully not. We'd like to see that young man sit up right now, but he's still on his back as I can see.
Yeah, we haven't caught the number, and we're not trying to speculate early here, folks. Want to make sure we give you the right information.
Now it looks like the young man looks like he's going to proceed to get up and hopefully walk off on his own power.
Meanwhile, while that's happening, beautiful view of the Strip here in Las Vegas. Great job by our camera crew getting that shot for you. So that looked like that might have been Aiden Monetai there. Was that Monetai? Boy, he's been a huge contributor in the first half for his team, so he's coming out of the game. That is a big loss for the Red Raiders. Is stepping into that secondary spot is Lano Solomon. Spicer is looking to test the secondary right away. He's going to get a quick out route, and stepping out of bounds with the reception is Naea, who that's the first time he hasn't taken a catch and turned it into more yardage, and only because he ran out of real estate along the sideline. That's going to be a nice gain on first down. The last play out to the 33-yard line. This pass play, a gain of 6 to the 39.
Yeah, that was nice coverage. They just wanted to contain him, not try to go one-on-one with him. And then, they've already got burnt a few times, as you mentioned, with his superior athleticism.
Good high percentage pass on the part of Melvin Spicer.
Yeah, I like the way he's quarterbacked this game tonight.
2nd down and 4. That's Bohr in the backfield. That's a tough snap. And Spicer is going to take a sack. 3rd sack of the game, and it was really who can get there first. Maximum Fono Moana is joined by Ben Roberts. They might split that sack. 3rd, as I mentioned, of the game for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, and those two defenders have done a good job of creating some chaos in that backfield.
3rd down and 13. Now the ball at the 30-yard line. This could be a huge stop once again for Kahuku's defense, who has been, as I said, very good. They've given up 19 points, but really 17, as 2 of that came on a safety and special teams.
Yep.
And a lot of the time they've been playing with a short field. Now they've got a more standard drive that Gorman's trying to develop, and the Gales are in a 3rd and long situation with a 4-receiver set in the back of the backfield. No tight ends. Spicer as Kahuku rushing 4. Now they're going to run a screen underneath. They got blockers out in front. Norman's pretty good in the open field. He's going to get tackled back near the original line of scrimmage. Actually, they're going to mark him at the 37, knee down. A gain of 7 yards. They'll bring up 4th down, and the punting unit on for the Gales.
Yeah, Faia Atuli came up and really hit him hard. But like we talked about Norman, it's hard to get him off his feet and really square him up. He bounced off that hit and picked up a few more yards.
So this offense for Kahuku looking to see if they can get on track here in the second half and should get decent field position. This is just the 2nd time in the game that the Gales have punted, and it is a very short punt. And it is going to take a Red Raider bounce, a huge one, and it's going to go out of bounds right around the Gales' 48-yard line.
Best field position of the night for the Red Raiders.
Well, you cannot dial this up any better for Kahuku. You had the punt that was short, and then it bounced back towards Gorman, and it bounced by everybody. They couldn't down it while it was still on the Red Raiders side of the field, and it's going to be spotted at the 47-yard line. This is just the 2nd time Kahuku will have the ball on the other side of the field here in the game. And let's see who they come out with at quarterback. They are going to go with Sanford Tupuola. So Tupuola is in the game at quarterback. And you got a new running back in there as well, Nohoa Pule, who's now going to move over to tight end. So you're going to go with a 4-receiver set. Make that 5-receiver set for Sanford Tupuola. He takes a snap. Here comes the blitz. It's a quick out to the far side, and the tight end looking to get some running room, and that's a great open field tackle. Wow. Wow, look at that play by Braden Correa. On one-on-one island out there, he goes ahead and makes the tackle at the 38-yard line for a loss of 1.
Yeah, that ball gets out there quick. That should be the advantage to the offense, but as you mentioned, Correa nullified that quickly. And that was they lost yardage on that play, about a yard on that throw. But I like the way they got the ball out quick, not staying in the pocket, trying to get it out, trying to create something. And we're seeing it. The couple of drops by the tight end position in the first half, Jeff, and the coaching staff made a quick change at the QB position and at the tight end position.
Well, both Sanford Tupuola and Mara Tarangi are both juniors. 5 receivers set again, this time 3 to the near side. Sanford Tupuola, quick out again. This one, oh man, that is a big hit in the secondary. And we got penalty markers flying in.
And that young man's still down on the sidelines.
Yeah, that's a defenseless receiver type of play there. And that's going to be a first down for Kahuku.
Yeah, Jet Washington with that vicious hit. He's 6'5".
And now we got some guys talking to each other, and credit to both Gorman and Kahuku players who are the cooler heads are jumping in and saying, hey, let's walk it back. Let's walk it back. So that's going to look like it's going to be a penalty, a 15-yard penalty against Bishop Gorman.
Yeah,
is my thought here, but let's see what the officials say.
I couldn't tell if he caught the ball on the.
He did not. No, it wasn't not a catch at all.
Okay.
Good to see the receiver pop back up. That's good. Didn't see who that was along the sideline. That is a 15-yard penalty against Gorman for a defenseless receiver, so it's going to put the ball at the 33-yard line. And if this is the deepest that Kahuku has gotten in the game. Their first down off of a penalty by Gorman, just Gorman's 3rd penalty of the game.
Boy, if you're Red Raiders, you got to capitalize on this. This is your golden opportunity to get back into this game.
Sanford Tupuola again with the empty backfield. They're going 5 receivers again. This time 3 to the near side, 2 to the far side of the field, the short side. Gorman showing blitz. Tight end in motion. Here comes the blitz. Here comes the pass, getting it out quickly. And we got a penalty marker as we're going to have a late hit on the quarterback.
But I didn't see that one.
Yep, roughing the passer.
Mm-hmm.
He got the ball out, and then they pushed him to the ground, and there were a couple steps the defender took before he got there. So that was not just a conventional, he got rid of the ball, bam, bam. Mm-hmm. That was a got rid of the ball, step, step, bam. And not a huge hit, but still, that's going to result in a 15-yard penalty again against Bishop Gorman. So back-to-back 15-yard penalties, 2 first downs, and Kahuku's going to have the ball around the 18-yard line.
Yeah, that time, like you said, he read what the pressure was coming, and the junior quarterback got it out of the pocket to avoid the sack. And after that, I was tracking the football and not seeing what was occurring in the backfield.
So now they're going to go with a 5-receiver set with 4 to the near side in a diamond formation, and 1 receiver to the far side. That's Mansuliai. Sanford Tupuola takes a snap, looking left, throwing left. Got a few blockers in front of him. This is going to be a nice tackle at the 15-yard line by Correa. Gain of 3 yards on the reception. Isaiah Joaquin with the grab. And I'll make it 2nd and 7. I got to think here, if you're Kahuku, you got to come away with points, even if it's 3.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes it a 2-possession game. Obviously, you need to get 2 scores and 2 2-point conversions, but 19-3 would look a lot better than 19-0. And obviously, you got a few plays between now and when you have to make that decision.
Yeah, but you see the emphasis now of just getting that ball out of the pocket quickly, not allowing Gorman's defense to kind of corral and cause turnovers by the quarterback.
Sanford Tupuola again with an empty backfield. Quick hitter again on the slant route underneath, and boy, that was a great misdirection play, but the pass thrown a little bit behind his intended target, incomplete, 3rd and 7.
You know, one thing is you see real here is it looks like you got a bunch of receivers not really sure on these plays because they probably haven't practiced them a lot, and you can see the throws, like you mentioned, are low, a little bit behind.
Well, and the other thing, too,
it's tough to kind of change your entire philosophy at half.
Well, and except for the left tackle, all of these kids were on the junior varsity last year on the offensive side. So even if they've been practicing it a ton, it's one thing to practice it on your practice field. It's another thing to do it in a game against the number 2 team in the country.
Exactly.
3rd down and 7. Man in motion to the far side of the field. That is Kaanga. Here is a pass across the middle. It's going to be intercepted. Thrown into double coverage, and a nice pick by Washington.
Yeah, that's Washington, and boy, he's really showing you why he is a quality safety. He's got the height, he's got the physicality, and right there, he read it perfectly. You mentioned it, double coverage, and he stepped right in front of that receiver and intercepted that ball. It's a junior going against a senior, and that's a mismatch right now.
Well, and a great read by the safety, stepping up. I mean, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. The ball returned from about the 2-yard line out to the 16. So 14 yards on the return. Excuse me, out to the 19, I should say. So 17 yards on the return. And Gorman's defense once again comes up big. Despite the 2 15-yard penalties, putting Kahuku in their best field position, an opportunity to score in the game. It still remains 19-0, 7:16 to go in the 3rd quarter. Here is Eugenio in the game, and a running play is going to get a few yards.
That was a flop, folks.
Terrence Grant on the carry.
We had a little flopping here.
Well,
trying to draw a penalty.
Perhaps. It is getting a little chippier here in this 3rd quarter, that is for sure. The ball out to the 24.
Disagree.
Gain of 5 yards. So now you've got...
And here's that scenario, Jeff, that we talked about.
Yeah, Micah Eugenio's back in the game. This on the 2nd possession, not the 3rd. At least in the 2nd half. 1 back in the backfield, 3 receivers far side, 1 near side. Eugenio is going to keep it on the ground. That's a delayed handoff to Grant, who fumbles the football, and it looks like Kahuku's got it. And they do. A fumble at the 31-yard line recovered by the Red Raiders. Didn't see who got the strip, but that was a nice defensive play.
Yeah, and it looked like the runner just didn't protect the football quite enough, Jeff. Didn't keep it tight to his body, left it out a little bit, and that allowed a defender to get the hand in there and disrupt the carry, and it went on the turf and recovered by the defense.
Well, and for Grant there, Eugenio hung on to the ball a long time, and Grant finally got it and had to do a spin move because he was trying to pull it away, and it took so long. So he was spinning right out of the gate, then got hit and spun again, and then the ball a little bit away from his body, like you mentioned.
Yeah, good call.
All right, Red Raiders back out on the field offensively. A 5-receiver package. Gorman not blitzing here. They're only going to rush 4. Pass underneath to the tight end. Nice first move. And a big gain is going to get a first down to the 20-yard line. That's Ayu with the catch.
Yeah, good for him because if you remember, Jeff, he dropped the ball just like that. That could have gotten a big gain in the first half. And they come back with that play to him, and this time he capitalizes for a first down.
The ball now at the 20. Second time in as many possessions, the Red Raiders are in the red zone.
Say that 10 times.
Well, I won't because I don't want to subject our audience to that kind of earworm.
There you go.
No, and thank you. I'm sure they are breathing a sigh of relief. Sanford Tupuola. Trips to the right, 2 to the near side. Takes a snap, looking, pump fakes. Now he's going to step up and run. He's got a lot of room up the middle. He's looking for the end zone, and he is in for a touchdown.
Same exact quarterback sneak play that we saw in the first half, and it executed perfectly, just like the in the first half. As the quarterback waits, and then Olivier sees that opening and goes right up to shoot, off either guard, and challenges the defense to stop him as he runs right up the middle of the field. The safeties are already out in their coverage, can't come back to help out. And by the time Washington gets there, he's already in the end zone.
Well, and Sanford Tupuola kept dropping back, and the seas parted, and he was right up the middle, and there was nobody there. You're absolutely right, Thomas, and did a nice job getting into the end zone. The extra point try coming up here, and this is Manoa Kalapuna, who is on for the extra point, trying to make this a 19-7 game. High snap, kick up, and that will split the uprights. And the Kahuku crowd, which came a long way to watch this game, exploded on that far side like they had been sitting like a teapot that was trying to come to a boil, and they have popped right there, as so is the offense, and it's a 19-7 game.
Yeah, my apologies. That was Sanford Tuapolo right there, and he showed great running ability on that play and really recognized it and executed it perfectly, because it's all key on the quarterback. Kind of has to keep the secondary from not converging on him. They still have to remain in their pass coverage, and that allows the opening of the middle of the field for him to run.
So now Bishop Gorman, how will they respond? We will see in a moment as the Red Raider is going to kick off, and you've got an excited Kahuku crowd, and still a long way to go for Kahuku to get back in the football game all the way. Bishop Gorman will need some kind of response here. Low line drive kick near the sideline, picked up on a hop at the 15, down that sideline and knocked out of bounds close to the 30-yard line on the return. About 15 yards on that return by Alexander Perez. Well, there seems to be a lot of conversation happening after these plays, and
well, these are two teams that like to hit and don't mind getting physical. And we're seeing, as you mentioned, that time it was number 40, Christian McComber. McComber sat out the whole year last season, so he's ready to do about as much as he possibly can on the football field.
Eugenio's going to stay in the game. Miles Norman in at running back, and he has been electric for Gorman in this game so far when he's gotten the ball with a little bit of space. He's going to shift to the right in the backfield and take the handoff on first down. He's up the middle in the secondary, and what did we say? Norman is on the run. Norman down to the 30 and tackled inside the 25-yard line. Well, I said he was electric, and that may have been an understatement.
Yeah, and give credit to Solai right there. He ran him down and got him from behind, or else that would have been an easy touchdown. Great effort there by the secondary player for the Red Raiders.
Well, Norman has been the guy in the running game that has been so effective. The ball is at the 25-yard line after a gain of 45 yards on the carry. 4:38 and counting here in the third quarter. Eugenio is going to say, hey, why don't we put you to the left this time, Norman, and hand it and let you run right. Let's see what happens. Not as much this time, as he will be stopped after about a yard. Getting there first was Fono Uimoana. Maximum effort there makes the tackle, 2nd and 9.
Yeah, he's coming off the tackle and sliding down to make that play on the opposite side of the field. So he's come from the weak side to come over to the strong side to make a hit. Great effort.
Gale's cheerleading squad calling for a touchdown. Fans are hoping for one as a response to that last Kahuku score. In one play, Gorman quickly on the other side of the field. Eugenio looking to throw. He's got some time. He gets rid of the ball. He's got a completion and a first down inside the 10. No, they're going to spot it just outside the 10-yard line. But a great catch by Naea.
Yeah, and a great throw, as you mentioned, because Eugenio got hit right as he threw the football. And I thought they might have called the roughing the passer, but the referee kept his flag in his pocket right there. But that was pretty close.
It was close, but it was like step hit after the throw, not step
right.
Push, right? So that's the difference there.
And he actually helped him to the ground, which I also think helps a lot, too.
Hand off to Core. Core is going to be hit around the 6-yard line and might eke out an extra yard to the 5. We'll see where we spot it there. The Gales can get another first down at the 1. That is a gain of 5 yards to the 6-yard line, 2nd and 5. Under 3 minutes remaining third quarter. Keep an eye on Derek Meadows. He's lined up to the near side along with kind of Watson in the slot, one to the far side. Got a double tight end set to the right. And now Core sets up right. Core now running left as the tight end shift that way. Does he get into the end zone? No. He is down at the goal line, but he should have enough for a first down.
Yeah, that time for Meadows, they put an extra defender on his side. And that kind of opened up the running lane on the opposite side for the Gales.
Yeah, even though they were running away from Meadows' side of the field, you've now got 2 defenders on him, and you got to call some attention to that. Meadows doesn't have a touchdown in the game, but now last time he was at the 1-yard line, Eugenio was going to hand it off to a deep man, got his foot stepped on, and just kind of spun his way into the end zone with a little help from his teammates. Let's see if he goes to Core here. He's going to move him to the right. Eugenio takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to get in for another 1-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, it's a little trouble with that, but that time a little bit better. He got hit pretty good on his ankle. He's kind of walking it off here.
But a great response by Bishop Gorman to come back after the Kahuku touchdown with a 70-yard drive of their own.
Yeah, aided by that big run by Norman, as you mentioned, the spark plug for their offense tonight.
And now at the end of the play, we have Alema Iosua, who is down on the field, one of the offensive linemen for Bishop Gorman. He was lining up on the left-hand side of that line. So there's a timeout on the field with 1:53 to go in the third quarter. But that's the kind of response you need to have. You've got a team that you've had down. You have a mistake. They capitalize and score. Now it looks like they've got momentum on their side. The crowd is fired up, and Norman, with that big 45-yard run, certainly quieted them, and then you complete the drive with another touchdown. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
If you're Gorman, you're going to be one of the top teams in the country this year.
Yeah, and that's really how national championship teams do it. Quite frankly, they give a little hope for their opponent, but they shut that down quickly on the next drive.
Now, you don't want to leave an opening there. And meanwhile, why don't we take a quick break here on the NFHS Network as they are attending to Iosua on the field. We'll be back here on the NFHS Network in just a moment.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
Iosua being helped off the field to our right-hand side. And now the extra point trying to make this a 26-7 game as the kick is up out of the hold of Watson. Borsari connects. This time the snap was good. He didn't have to stutter step and then just kind of chip it. And a 70-yard drive for Bishop Gorman makes the score 26-7 again. And as I mentioned before, we went to break, 1:53 to play in the third quarter.
It'll be interesting to see how the Red Raiders come out here. You would think that they would get conventional field position, not the ball. It's kind of ironic. The field is slanted in their direction here in the second half. So it'll be interesting how they react and respond to now down again by 19 points.
Well, you got to. I mean, again, if you're going to be a top team, and Kahuku is planning on winning the Open again this year in Hawaii, and they've got a tough schedule. You're going to have games like this, and you're going to have to show you can come back on teams, and you may not come away with a win necessarily, but you got to keep the effort through all 48 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those teams that we'll all keep an eye on to see how well they improve as the season begins. You know, their defense is right there, like we were talking about at the top of the broadcast. It's really about the offense coming together and growing as a unit.
Here's the kickoff. Short kick. And a fair catch this time going to be called at the 27-yard line. I think it was a smart play by Ayu.
Yeah.
See if they spot it at the 26 or the 27. Looks like they're going to... They're going to put it at the 27-yard line. So you got a longer field for Sanford Tupuola, assuming he is going to be back out there at quarterback again. Did a nice job on the last couple drives. He did throw a pick on the first one, but I think that's, again, you're talking about a player who was at the JV level last year, and if Mara Tarangi was getting the bulk of the snaps at the JV level, you're now cutting your teeth at the varsity level against the number 2 team in the country. I mean, literally, it's like you went and played LSU and Alabama in the first 2 games of the season. I mean, St. Louis, the number 2 team in your state and your rival, and you get a nice win there, and then you come here to play Bishop Gorman, and now you've got Alabama.
And they're opening it up with a...
And now we got a whistle and a penalty marker and a false start.
I guess on the offense.
Someone moved. There was a lot of shifting defensively. But that is against the offense.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I believe it.
First penalty of the second half for
the Red Raiders.
For the Red Raiders, yeah. You have 2 on Gorman, both of the personal foul variety for 30 yards. That one there for 5 yards, just the third penalty of the game against Kahuku. Sanford Tupuola on first down. He's going to throw a long ball down the field and a little bit over the head of his receiver. Nice effort as that pass intended for Kaanga. In coverage on the play was Washington combining with Pesci Silva.
That play works if Kayanga could get a little separation from the defender right there.
Well, and he kind of cut the angle back toward the middle of the field. Maybe that was where the play was designed to go, but the ball was thrown a little bit more towards the sideline. So,
looked like the ball was actually thrown to his outer shoulder too.
Well, in that situation, incomplete is better than intercepted.
Oh yeah.
Of the 2 words that start with IN, you want the first one, not the second. 5 receiver set again as Kahuku has gone throughout here the second half. Pass underneath. That pass is caught. Nice job. First catch of the game for Zenon Alarosa. Alarosa out near the 34-yard line for a gain of 7 yards, setting up 3rd and 3.
Good route right there, and what a great catch because he knew he was going to get a hit. And he did by number 10. Landon McComber.
Yeah, McComber, the 6'2", 215-pound senior linebacker.
Yeah.
The McComber family is churning out some pretty good linebackers. You got Christian, a sophomore, already at 6 feet, 200. Trips to the near side, 2 to the far side. Gorman's been playing a lot of guys back in coverage here instead of blitzing. And they're going to continue. No, actually a running play here. They're going to bring up the linebackers, and that's maybe to the 35-yard line, if that. It might be no gain, and that'll set up 4th and 3.
Yeah, that play didn't look like it was well executed right there.
And the punting unit's going to come on. Well, nice job again by the Gorman defense. They have been pretty steady and have held Kahuku to just 5 first downs in the game, 2 of those coming through penalties.
Yeah, it's scary to think they might be better defensively this season than they were last season.
Long snap, high kick, short kick, and it is going to take a bounce kind of a little bit in favor of Kahuku down around the 41-yard line of Bishop Gorman, and that's where the ball will be down with 2 seconds to play in the third quarter. So the Gales offense going to trot out there for one more play before the end of the third. And as the rotational quarterbacks continue, Eugenio is going to stay in there.
Yeah, he's been... Seems like the offense has gone a little bit better with him as a quarterback tonight. Spicer...
I mean, both quarterbacks have been pretty solid. You know,
Yeah.
it's not been smooth, but it is also their first game of the year.
Yeah, but coaches are always going to say when a turnover causes on your watch, and then the other guy gets a touchdown, and he'll get the next series.
Well, Eugenio is going for a home run ball, and he's going to overthrow his receiver. But boy, that was a pretty nice
and he was
display
pressured.
of his arm there. That ball was about 50 yards in the air. And that will end the third quarter. We'll take a break here on the NFHS Network with Bishop Gorman leading at 26-7 as the teams exchange touchdowns here in the third quarter. You're following the game on your home for high school sports, the NFHS Network.
He's going to take it himself for a championship.
A double play. Winston crazy. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. McKay touchdown. Wins it. The championship.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Well, as you can tell from your view here, those little dots moving across your screen there, that's the planes lining up to fly into Las Vegas for another weekend here in the city where your, whatever happens here stays here. I think the Bishop Gorman Gales will be happy to say, hey, look, we won here, and we'd like to let everybody know that we did. And that's, they're 12 minutes away from that with the football and a lead of 19 points against the Kahuku Red Raiders. Ball at the 41-yard line. A 2nd down and 10 situation for Micah Eugenio, who just threw a ball 50 yards down the field, pretty much flat-footed. That was a nice toss, even though the pass was incomplete.
Don't exactly know what the trouble here is.
I'm not sure either. Officials, maybe there was a conversation taking place on the far side. One of our line judges was still getting reset. So Eugenio's going to put it back to his right, trips to the near side, one to the far side. Here's the snap. He's looking to throw. He's going to overthrow his target. This time it was Watson on the near sideline, incomplete. In coverage on the play was Malachi Vendiola.
Yeah, that time Eugenio, first time he really was overthrowing a ball pretty high. Watson was just not going to be able to get that one. for a reception.
So now a third down situation. Eugenio getting the play call from the sideline. See what the coaching staff dials up for Bishop Gorman here.
Pretty unique setup here.
Eugenio's looking to throw. He's looking right. He's going to step up. He's going to be hit as he throws, and a laser down the sideline. It's going to be caught, but out of bounds, incomplete. Boy, that was a great throw and a fantastic catch by Kyle Watson. Unfortunately, he was out of bounds, but took an act of courage right there, and that was a laser as Eugenio was getting hit on the throw.
Yeah. He's kind of making a case for himself for next season.
He is. He's making a case for himself for this season, too.
No doubt.
Boy, you got Spicer and Eugenio.
Yeah.
You got two good quarterbacks out there for Gorman. Punting unit is now on, though, for the Gales after 3 passes incomplete. Alexander Perez, a late arrival onto the punt team, will now line up on that left side of the line. Good snap. Kick away. End over end. Going to take a hop that will be fielded at the 19-yard line by Kahuku and upended at the 23. Nice job getting down the field. The long snapper, Jason Arredondo, in coverage with the tackle.
Yeah, we talk about last season with Bishop Gorman all night. The offense last season, Jeff, was just amazing. On the season, they averaged 431 total yards of offense and 49 points per game. I mean, that's Madden numbers.
It is. Yeah, that's like you're playing at the real basic level there.
That's like, you're coming off a nice 36-hour, getting the new Madden, and right at your 35th hour, you got like a nice 435-yard average there.
You sound like you're speaking from experience.
Maybe. Maybe.
Sanford Tupuola back out on the field. His team down by 19, 11:35 to go. If you can get a little something going here, if you're Kahuku, maybe there's a little bit of life left. First play is a pass play, and it's going to be overthrown along the far sideline, incomplete.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. We talk about the Red Raiders, how they develop. Like you mentioned, they won the Open Division title over there in Hawaii, and this year it's sort of a little bit of a rebuild offensively, and you wonder how long it's gonna. Their defense, no doubt, is championship level.
Absolutely.
But how long will it take actually for the offense to kind of come up to par? That's going to be a real interesting story as we move forward this season.
Yes, and it's one test against Bishop Gorman. It'll be tests against other teams, but they're playing modern day as well, so they're going to get both the number 1 and the number 2 teams in the country within a span of about 3 weeks. So this offense is going to have to mature fast. Good pass to the outside. That is a completion, and then out of bounds across the 30 to the 31-yard line for a pickup of 7.
And look, it's unfortunate that they made a quarterback change, they made a couple other changes, but that's how coaching staffs are. I mean, when they see a problem and they're not going to wait for it to try to rectify itself. If it's not working, they're going to make changes quickly, and we're seeing a little bit more cohesiveness offensively. But like you mentioned, the QB is just a little bit doesn't have the experience right yet to kind of maybe handle this level at this time.
Well, yeah, and especially at this level, you're going to have, probably a quicker switch in this type of a game than you might in a game against a team that's 5-5 level.
Exactly.
Here's a pass on third down. That's going to be complete and a first down out to the 35-yard line for a gain of 5 yards. Clock will stop temporarily while they move the chains. It's a nice job by Sanford Tupuola and the coaching staff going for a little bit of ball control here, but you're trying to build some confidence. I mean, again, this is all like part of the learning process like you were just talking about a moment ago, Thomas. And if this is a long drive that goes 77 yards and results in a touchdown but takes 6.5 minutes to do it and you come out on the short end of the stick, you'll take that as part of the growth process. That would be a big win in a fourth quarter type of situation for Kahuku.
Yeah, Stanford Tuipuola has really done an excellent job of getting that ball out quickly and really making the right reads there. You can move it out quickly, but you got to also make completions.
And now he's going to step up and run with it. And he's going to take on a linebacker. That's a nice matchup. You got Landon McComber at 215 pounds and Sanford Tuipuola at 205. And that's a gain of 6 yards to the 41-yard line. And anytime a quarterback takes on a linebacker like that, I wonder if Coach Carvalho is telling him that right now. It always makes you catch your breath in your throat a little bit. You don't want an injury.
Yeah, no doubt. That is always on the mind of the coaches when their quarterback is running.
Under 10 minutes to play. Kahuku trying to grind out some first downs. They've got a 2nd and 4. Pass underneath. That pass is complete, and a first down there on the catch from Jaden Tagaloa. Tagaloa's first reception out to midfield.
Yeah, good route running right there. Good sharp cut to the middle of the field, and he got himself a first down.
I'm not sure why they're running the clock here. They hadn't set the chains or anything. It should have stopped the clock on the first down, but they were running it there, so that's interesting. 9:30 and counting here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and our lead official was the one cranking the arm saying, let's get it going. So unless the ball was spotted, and he's like, well, the chain guys better hurry up.
Yeah.
We're getting this going. 5 receiver set, 4 to the near side. Fresh set of downs for the Red Raiders. Sanford Tuipuola steps up, throws to the sideline, and that pass is incomplete. Nice defense on the far side of the field by Gorman. That was Hayden Stepp in coverage, a sophomore. 2nd down and 10 at midfield. Well, I like that Kahuku is taking their time here. Mm-hmm. They are relating to this like, hey, we need to not necessarily grind clock. I don't think that's the intention, but we got a long drive to make. We need to be methodical in how we do it.
Yeah.
All part of the learning process. Now they're going to throw a deep ball, and it's going to be intercepted.
Yeah, that time 2 receivers in the area, and that pass wasn't close to neither one of the intended receivers.
Isaiah Nichols. It was over the head of Solei. I didn't catch the deeper receiver, but it was in between the two of them, and the person in between the two of them was Nichols for the interception. That is the 3rd interception thrown by the Red Raiders in the game, and their 4th turnover.
Tagaloa was the other receiver, Jeff, 27.
So now it'll be Bishop Gorman football at their own 30-yard line with 8:55 to go. Folks, at the conclusion of today's game, stay tuned for the NFHS Network postgame show. Thomas and I will step away for a few moments, come back with the postgame, name our player of the game, which always comes from the winning team, and wrap up our coverage here from Bishop Gorman. And this, the opening week of the football season at the high school level. Here is a first down running play by the Gales that's going to get good yardage out to the 39-yard line, maybe the 38. Looks like they're going to spot the knee down at the 38. That's a gain of 8 yards.
Spicer back in as quarterback.
And then slow getting up at the end of that play was another one of the linemen. This time it is KJ Hallams. He's going to get back to the huddle. They're actually going to spot at the 39. So they're going to give 9 yards on the carry by Norman. Miles Norman. Someone's going to take an interest in him. Boy, you get the ball to him in the open field or give him a hole big enough, and he's through it quickly, and he's been explosive. 45 yards, the longest run from scrimmage by either team in the game. That was Norman right after Kahuku scored. I think really the key play in the game, because you got Kahuku with the score. If they get a stop or hold Gorman to just 1 first down on their end of the field, maybe it's a different story here. But instead, Norman, the big carry, he's got the ball here. He's going to get a first down, and he's going to absorb a hit and then keep his feet and take it to the 44.
And he just keeps his legs moving.
He does.
That's what they teach you.
Not shy about contact either.
No, and it's hard to square up on him because of his height and weight. Can't get really a good square-on hit on him, so he kind of bounces off of you.
So a gain of 5 to the 44-yard line. No reason why Gorman will do anything but keep this on the ground here, up 26-7. Spicer trying to hustle his team up here a little bit with the play clock in mind. Gets the snap off. Norman, the carry, going to bounce to the outside. This has been trouble so far, but good pursuit by the Kahuku Red Raiders linebacking core. Will stop him around the 48-yard line for a gain of 4.
Yeah, I didn't get to catch that number, but that outside defender stretched that play out perfectly. Did not allow Norman to cut up until about the numbers, and that allowed his teammates to pursue over there and make a tackle. I guess the only negative we can say about the Gales tonight was the loss of one of their offensive linemen here in the third quarter. He's still on the trainer's table. I see him over there.
Yeah, that's Iosua.
Mm-hmm.
Late arrival for Kahuku, and here's Spicer stepping up to throw and now run, and he's going to get a good positive gain across midfield into Red Raider territory at the 48-yard line, where he'll be 2 yards shy of a first down. Well, if you're Coach Brown or assessing your first game of the year, the penalties, you've had 6 so far. Obviously, we've got about another half of a quarter to go.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them, though, personal fouls. Doesn't hurt him here, but could hurt him down the road. They have, though, at this stage, 14 first downs. That's pretty good. They've turned the ball over twice, however. I think would you give yourself a C+, B- at Bishop Gorman level? I think other teams would say, hey, and we came away with a win. I'm going to give ourselves a B+. But I think Browner would say not bad getting out of here with a first game win, assuming they hold on here in the last under 6 minutes to play. Here's a screen pass, juggling catch, and look out. Down the sideline we go with Greg Toller, and he's going to get in the end zone for a touchdown. What a catch and run. A 48-yard pass play, and Gorman extends their lead.
Yeah, 2 cuts that he made after he caught the football. Flat-footed the defenders right there and got himself a beautiful touchdown run. And beautiful throw by Spicer, get that ball out quickly. And that dual-threat quarterback got himself a touchdown throw, man. That's a great play, well executed by the Gales, and that might have been it for tonight's game.
Well, I think that for Bishop Gorman, you've got 2 quarterbacks. Eugenio's run for 2 touchdowns, and Spicer has thrown for 2 touchdowns. Right. Take that any day of the week. Meanwhile, at the end of the play, you have a Kahuku defensive player down on the far side of the field, right around the original line of scrimmage, on what would be the right side of the offensive line, defensive line's left side. I did not catch the number of that player, well away from where the play was going, which was to our near sideline.
They already took away his helmet, so that's not good. 45.
That's Shaden Yu, a junior defensive lineman.
And he's walking gingerly.
Well, but it's good to see him walking, so hopefully nothing too serious here with 5:30 to play. And now the score 32-7, Bishop Gorman on the touchdown pass. So Nichols' pick turns into a Toller touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And the extra point try coming up here for Bersari. Good snap, and that kick is good. 33-7 is our score. Well, a nice drive by Bishop Gorman, 70 yards, a touchdown. That's their second 70-yard drive in their last 3 possessions.
Yeah, and and like you mentioned, you love when you get a turnover, converting it into a score. They've done that tonight. So that's a good all-around start for the Gales as they head on the road next week. They play in that big ESPN game down in Florida against St. Thomas Aquinas, and then, as you mentioned, they go to California to play Modern Day, and we'll be there for that.
Yeah, and for the Red Raiders, they've got Kona Waina on Saturday on the road. Then they've got Waimea the week after that. They got a week off, and then they play Modern Day on September 14th for their 5th game of the year. So it will move quickly for the Red Raiders. And yet, like you said, I mean, Bishop Gorman, they play a top-notch schedule. You got St. Thomas Aquinas, you got a week off, then you're at Modern Day. We'll have that game on the NFHS Network. Then you're back here with Orange Lutheran.
We'll have that on the NFHS Network.
Correct. So then a game off, then Liberty, which is always a big one.
Yeah.
Liberty was the last team to beat Bishop Gorman for a state title. And that was a couple of years ago. So some good games coming your way. That game also on the NFHS Network. Here's a short kick, and this is going to be returnable from the 27-yard line across the 35 out to the 38. And that is where the play will stop, an 11-yard return. 5:25 to go in this one.
Yeah, just right now for the Red Raiders, you just want to get some positive, feel good about yourself, especially the offense. If they could get a drive and like you mentioned earlier, don't care if you run the entire clock out. As long as you could get some positives and get something on film that'll make everybody feel good about the situation right now, because you got to believe those 11 players that are going to come on the field, they know they're struggling and they're trying to solve the problem too, just as much as the coaching staff.
Well, what's your message for Coach Carvalho at the end of this game to your team?
It's again, we got to be protective of the football. The turnovers to me are the glaring ones. If I'm not mistaken, I think they got 3 interceptions tonight.
That's correct, and a fumble, and then you've got that safety on the snap. That really is almost like another turnover. And we got we got Maratarangi back in the game at quarterback. He's going to throw a quick out to the far side that's going to lose a couple of yards back to the 35-yard line. Yeah, I think also you got to remind your guys, and this is 7 turnovers now in 2 weeks against 2 really good teams.
Yeah.
The first time they were able to overcome it against St. Louis, you're not able to do that against a Bishop Gorman. And you got to remind your players, hey, we are a very good football team. We're the number 1 team in the state of Hawaii for a reason, but we're playing. It's a big jump between the number 30 team in the nation and the number 2 team in the nation. You're seeing that tonight. Maratarangi set to throw again, pass underneath, and that is going to be, let's see if they're going to call that a catch or incompletion. I believe they're going to call it an incompletion, as we've got a player now at the end of that play with a cramp in the calf on that far sideline. It's 3rd down back at the 35-yard line, and we'll have a quick stoppage of play. Well, and we saw that last year, too. We had Milton of Georgia come in and play Modern Day in Southern California, and Milton was the number 6 team in the state of Georgia, which is an outstanding, obviously, football state, as is Hawaii, right? And so you've got that game, number 6 team in the state of Georgia against one of the top, at the time, Modern Day was maybe the number 1 or 2 team in the country with Bosco. They were kind of hovering right there, St. John Bosco at 1 and 2. And that game ended up about 55-6.
Yeah.
And, Milton, Georgia had about 3 guys going Division I next year, outstanding players, very good. Modern Day had Division I players at the 2nd and 3rd on the depth chart who are going to be playing. They're just sophomores waiting for the junior and senior in front of them to age out and graduate, right? And so, that jump is pretty high, and I think Kahuku's running into that a little bit tonight. 4:41 to play. Maratarangi is going to throw a deep ball, and Washington has his 2nd pick. Well, you're trying to make something happen if you're Kahuku, and Washington has been patrolling the back and has been doing a nice job all night long for the Gales.
Yeah, once again, overthrow. Washington played it perfectly, intercepted it, and with 4:30 to go, that might be the last time we see the Red Raiders offense tonight, the way the Gales can kind of slow this game down and and kind of run the clock out. But, boy, I'm telling you, Jeff, I've been really impressed with their defense. This is a high-level defense.
It is.
It's going to be really interesting to see what their totals are at the end of the year, because this looks like a special group.
Spicer back in the game is going to give it to Grant on first down at the 30-yard line, and Grant is going to be pushed out of bounds across the 30.
Ooh, got a little pushing and shoving.
A little bit at the end of that play.
Or he might have lost his balance. I might have overreacted.
You look like you were the only one. Just if I'm being honest about it, everyone else seemed like, it's all right.
Yeah.
But given what we saw a little bit in the third quarter, I can understand it. Gain of 2 for Grant on the play, and the officials keep that clock going right away under 4 minutes to go. Again, likely that the Gales will keep the ball on the ground here. Good opportunity for Grant to get some carries. Terrence Grant, just a sophomore. Well, what do I know? Here's Spicer stepping up to throw. Now he's going to run, and he's going to dive forward to the 40-yard line. I kind of question that just a little bit. I mean, obviously, Coach Browner, an outstanding coach, but do you want to put your quarterback up 26 points in a potential injury situation where he's dropping back to pass and running the football under 4 minutes to play?
I hear you. He's just an outstanding dual-threat quarterback, and sometimes plays are designed for him to run. And with that offensive line, I know with the injury it might be a little weakened, but there's still top players on that offensive line. They open up that hole for him pretty good.
Well, a nice gain of 7 yards to set up a 3rd and 1. And we're now under 3 minutes to play. Spicer puts Grant to his left, and we've got some movement along the line.
This is also another part of the game where coaches really will get on teams is coming out of a huddle lackadaisical and then false starting. They like that team that runs up to the line quick and executes the play. So we're speaking high praises of Bishop Gorman, but I guarantee you Coach Browner and his staff will have a different take on this game than we do.
Yeah, they've definitely found some things that they can work on between now and next week against St. Thomas Aquinas, where you can't make those types of mistakes, especially on a road trip like that. Here is Spicer throwing underneath. That pass is caught for a first down. Nice job by Eli Yamauchi. Yamauchi with his first catch of the game. 6'2", 240-pound senior takes it out to the 42-yard line.
That's some of the coolest parts of this portion of a game is getting the guys that practice and hustle, get them out on the field and get their name into the stats book.
Well, Coach Browner said we'd see a lot of guys tonight, and we have. That is for sure. We've seen both quarterbacks. We've seen a host of running backs, different receivers getting the football. Here is a handoff into the line of scrimmage, and that is going to be Core, it looks like, to the 45-yard line. And so they're going to give him 2 yards to the 44 with 1:45 and counting in this one. Well, as we mentioned, NFHS Network postgame show coming up in just a few moments. All that remains here is the final score, 33-7 right now. Bishop Gorman trying to wind some clock, high possession, high percentage passes, and a little bit of running like Core is doing here. Core is thinking end zone, breaking tackles, and finally wrestled down around the 12-yard line.
Some great missed tackles and him breaking a couple of tackles, Jeff, on that run. And, I guess he made his case like, hey, I love my teammates, but don't forget me, too.
That's right. We've talked a lot about Norman. We've talked a lot about Grant. And Core gets a big gain down to the 10-yard line, 1st and goal.
5'11", 205 is a senior. And he's a hard runner, too, oh, by the way.
Yes, as we just witnessed. Grant now in the game. He's going to get the he's going to get the carry. I thought Spicer had it for a moment. Grant's going to take it down around the 5-yard line. Second and goal. They're actually going to give him a 4-yard gain to the 6. We're under 25 seconds left. And if Gorman doesn't score here, they might just stick a pin in it at 33-7. But we'll see what they do here. Spicer needs to snap the football. Grant to his right. He'll give it to Grant again. He will be hit and knocked backwards. And that will wrap the game up. Well, we got a penalty marker at the end of this. That's probably kind of a moot point here.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they'll march this off, as the teams will meet at midfield. And it will be a 33-7 Bishop Gorman win. We will be back with the NFHS Network postgame show in just a few moments, folks. Please stay with us.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great. Participate.
But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
Folks, back with the NFHS Network postgame show. Final score is Bishop Gorman 33 and Kahuku 7. As you look at the lights of Las Vegas. And a nice opening game for Bishop Gorman. For Kahuku, obviously a disappointing result. Some more work to do. Actually, both teams' coaches would say more work to do. Let's talk about our player of the game. And you're looking at him right there along the sideline with 2 interceptions and really representing the defense. Jed Washington, the free safety for the Bishop Gorman Gales, is the NFHS Network player of the game, and 4 picks from the secondary, some good line play, and only giving up 7 points in your first game of the year against the number 1 team out of the state of Hawaii. It's a pretty good performance.
It really is. He's 6'5", and he's physical, and he's fast, and he covers people, and and he's just smart. He steps right in front of, reads that quarterback and steps in front of receivers and make interceptions. And if you come across the middle and not paying attention, he'll hit you pretty good to let you know that he's there. So there's a lot of good things to like about this young man, and I think he's going to be a real key for this team because, to me, tonight, Jeff, Bishop Gorman, they scored 33 points, but I thought their defense was outstanding. You marked it all night on just how they held their opponent in check, and he was one of the reasons why, no doubt about it.
Well, and for Kahuku, they've got a long flight back to Hawaii. I think the players will remember the trip, maybe not as much for the game itself as what it brings you together with over the course of the week. And then on top of that, they went up against the number 2 team in the country. Their defense played well in adverse situations. And as Coach Carvalho told us, he said the defense we know is a championship defense, and the offense, we know there's going to be a little bit of a gap. They're going to catch up, but we're comfortable and confident they will over the course of the year.
Yeah, they're going to make changes. They're going to find out what works and what doesn't. It's going to be a playbook. We might see, if you're watching from Hawaii, you might see a lot of the plays that you saw at the beginning of the season taken out because they just don't work with this mix. So
it just didn't work against the number 2 defense in the country, right? I mean, that's the other possibility.
They may not have the personnel to execute it. So it's going to be a lot of work on the offense, and I think we're going to see a completely different team in the state of Hawaii moving down the road, the Red Raiders, because like you mentioned, they're also a state champion, so they know how to get things done.
Well, the Red Raiders will fall to 1-1. Bishop Gorman starts the year 1-0 with a big matchup against St. Thomas Aquinas next week. We will have more game coverage on the NFHS Network next week as well. Not that particular game, but we will have other games and a lot of really good ones if you want to get your first look at modern day, if you're a Bishop Gorman fan or a Kahuku fan for that matter, and you've already gotten yourself a pass, a subscription to the NFHS network, your pass gives you access to any game taking place on the network over the next 30 days, and you might as well just get yourself an annual pass. What a great value. Just if you want sports at all. Yeah. We've got all of them at the high school level here for you on the NFHS network, and you get a chance to watch that modern day Centennial game next week on Thursday. So a lot of good coverage coming your way. I'd like to thank everyone here on the network who made today's broadcast possible. Again, our executive producers today have been Brian Vilvin and Finn Prendergast, our director and producer on site, Chris Cashman, cameraman today, Gabriel Kurtz and Matthew Burke. For my broadcast partner, Thomas Conroy, I am Jeff Kurtz saying so long from Las Vegas, Nevada. You can see it there in the background. Bishop Gorman, a 33-7 win over Kahuku on your home for high school sports, the NFHS Network. Have a great weekend, everybody. Good night.